Have you ever started decluttering and encountered massive fails? The process of decluttering is not easy, and a lot of times it really just comes down to finding a system that works for you because we are all very different and have very different personalities. Why fail and learn from your own mistakes when you can learn from mine and, well, other people's? By the end of this video, you'll know what fails to avoid so your decluttering process can be a success. Hi, I'm Margo, and I am always looking for the best ways to declutter my home and learn from my mistakes and share my mistakes with you so you don't have to make them. If you are a working mama and you want to successfully survive work, life, and mommyhood, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell. I release brand new videos every Wednesday. The decluttering process is a lengthy one. More importantly, it requires you to build good habits in order to avoid future clutter. So let's jump into the 8 most common mistakes that we make when attempting to declutter. Number 1, having unrealistic expectation. Decluttering your home is a process. It takes time, and sometimes it takes a long time, so you kind of have to be patient with yourself. Unless you guys have an army, this is not something that you're going to be able to accomplish in a day or even a few days. You have to be realistic with how you feel about decluttering, whether you enjoy it, you don't enjoy it. Time, right? We are working mamas. We have children. Oftentimes we don't have 5 hours or 8 hours to dedicate to the decluttering process. Maybe, you can do it in increments of 5 to 15 days. 5 to 15 minutes a day. It could be sporadic. It could be once a week. It could be twice a week. But again, the expectation shouldn't be that this is something that just magically happens overnight and then clutter never appears back in your home. It is just not practical. Number 2, using a decluttering method that's not a good fit for you. Look, guys, the reality is there are a lot of decluttering methods out there. There's the Swedish death cleaning method. And for more on that, you can check out this video right here. There is the Marie Kondo method, right? Where you essentially focus on keeping items that bring you joy. Then there's sort of the method of decluttering, by room, decluttering by category, decluttering, 5 to 15 minutes a day. That'll completely depend on you. It'll depend on how you feel. It'll depend on your personality. To be fully transparent, I use a combination of very many different methods. It depends on my mood, essentially, and what I'm trying to accomplish. I have used the Swedish death cleaning method, where essentially you clean as if you're going to die tomorrow, right? So this is really a huge overhaul of getting rid of probably a good 80% of what you have. Now, I am by no means a minimalist, right? I like stuff, right? So I am not very comfortable with the Swedish death cleaning method because there are certain things that they bring me joy. I want to keep them. I like artwork on my walls. I like trinkets. I like, picture frames. I like a few magnets on my refrigerator. I like things, right? I like my candles, things of that nature. So I use a combination of a variety of different methods. If I need to, let's say, declutter my kitchen and I'm strapped for time, then I will do maybe a drawer a day. So for example, I might be cooking, and while something is brewing or cooking on the stove, I'll declutter my pantry. Or another day, I'll take a few minutes to declutter my freezer. It's kind of doing these short sprints, right? Every so often. So again, it depends. A couple of weeks ago, I had a few hours, and collectively, myself, my mom, and my daughter, we sort of went through all of the closets, and we had more time. We had a small army, and we were able to get rid of a lot of stuff. But I really feel like it comes down to trial and error, and you should really kind of know yourself and how you feel about decluttering, and choose a method that works for you. And there's nothing wrong with choosing a variety of different methods to suit you. Number 3, having no system in place. Look, the reality is that if you have no system of how you're going to declutter, chances are you're never actually going to get started. Or maybe you'll get started and then you'll get distracted, or you'll realize you forgot, you had somewhere to be in an hour or two, whatever it is. But you should have a schedule. So you should pencil in, maybe you have 2 hours on a Sunday to dedicate to decluttering. So you want to pencil that in, right, on a schedule. Not only that, you want to take it a step further and you want to write down, where are you starting? What are you decluttering? Because again, depending on the time, you're not going to be able to declutter everything. You should have some type of schedule and be good to yourself, right? Don't push yourself too hard. This shouldn't be an overwhelming process, right? It shouldn't add so much burden to you. So have a schedule in place and then figure out, where are you starting? What are you tackling first, second, and third? For a complete list of what to declutter in every room, you can grab my free Ultimate Moms Decluttering Guide. I'll leave a link for it down below in the description. And a pro tip when decluttering is you want to create 5 piles. You want to create the keep pile, the garbage pile, the recycle pile, the donate pile, and the sell pile. If you're getting value from this video, show me some love by tapping that like button and let me know, what's your decluttering strategy? Leave a comment down below. Mistake number 4, sponging, not doing. Are you somebody that watches a lot of decluttering videos, maybe reads a bunch of books, blog posts, so you're kind of trying to come up with your own way and learn from others of how you're going to start and tackle the decluttering process? Here's the problem. You're doing a lot of sponging, you're learning, which is fantastic, but you're not actually getting started. The only way to declutter and the only way to figure out a system that works for you is by actually doing it. You need to start. You need to try things that work for you and things that don't work for you. But decluttering, you're not, I wish, right? I kind of wish I just one day walked into my space and it was fully decluttered and I did nothing but wave a magic wand. But decluttering doesn't work that way. You're going to have to commit to the process and you're actually going to have to start decluttering. If you hate cleaning and decluttering, check out this video here where I simplify the decluttering process in detail. Number 5, the mentality of the once and done approach. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. You will always have some type of clutter. Even if you completely overhaul and declutter, some clutter will still find its way back into your home. It is an ongoing process. Now, with that said, if your home is overdue for like a massive declutter it. Go all out. Take 2 months, 6 months, a year. Declutter it. But we have children, we have families, so a certain amount of clutter will naturally come back into our home. The most important thing is that it's not a once and done approach, right? It's a continuous process. The best thing that you can do is to build good habits. Have things in place where maybe you're doing a little bit of decluttering every single week to sort of maintain the cleanliness. And as a pro tip, the rule of thumb is that more things should actually go out of your home than go into your home. Another pro tip is to make sure that all items in your house have a home to go to. So what does that mean? If, let's say, you have mail, you want to make sure that you have a designated bin or a basket that you're putting mail into. Cleaning supplies, you want to also make sure that you have a bin or some type of caveat or a basket that you're putting things into. Those random miscellaneous items that are left around the house, that's what's really creating that visual of clutter. So it's not only enough to declutter, but you want to have systems in place for organization. Send me a before and after picture of your decluttered space and your photos might be featured in my next video. Mistake number 6, leaving stuff in bags and boxes. I can't tell you how many times folks have decluttered a space and then we're like, okay, it just sits there, right? So maybe some things were being donated. Did you have a system in place? Like, Who's picking it up? Or are you dropping it off? What are you doing with the stuff? So can you imagine you just decluttered and now it's sitting in different piles of clutter all over your house. Now, another mistake to avoid, and I've done this, right, as part of this, is to then take like the stuff that you're donating or selling or whatnot and put it in the trunk of your car, and then it kind of just sits there for a couple of months, right? You want to have a system in place for that as well, right? If you know that you're tackling a big declutter, then you need to make sure that all that stuff that you decluttered makes its way outside of your home, right? So you it's going to feel so great. Like you decluttered, you took all the garbage out, you recycled, you donated, and then you walk into your home and it's just clean and clutter-free. It's an amazing feeling. Mistake number 7 is decluttering with the in case of emergency mentality. Not gonna lie, I am that person. I tend to, when I declutter, keep things that I think I will need in case of an emergency. So I will keep extra sheets. I will keep extra clothes that I don't wear. I will keep extra towels that are really not usable for like guests, because they're kind of dingy and gross. So I am that person, so I completely understand. The problem is the zombie apocalypse is not coming. Okay, so oftentimes this in case of emergency is not very realistic. What has worked for me is that I will actually, so you have your separate piles. I will go through my keep pile twice. Right, so I will kind of do the whole, this is what I'm tossing, right? Some items are very easy, like it's a no-brainer, I'm getting rid of this. I will toss it, I will recycle, I will donate, but I will, again, with certain things in my home that I'm decluttering, this primarily is like clothing and things of that nature or sentimental things. I will go through my alleged keep pile twice. And when I go through it a second time, I am more likely to get rid of more things. Number 8, continuing to buy things. Now, you have worked so hard to declutter your home, right? And it now looks amazing. But what you haven't changed are your buying habits, right? A lot of times, what is clutter, right? Clutter is a bunch of things that we bring into our home, oftentimes things that we don't need. Now, I'm not saying don't buy stuff that makes you happy. Of course, go for it. But at the same time, you don't want to clean out your house and declutter your house and then within 2-3 months, bring all of this stuff back in. Because remember, when you're decluttering, you want to hold on to things that make you happy, that make your home a sanctuary, that make your home feel good. So you're not tossing absolutely everything, right? But you want to also work on your buying habits, right? On your spending habits. Oftentimes, when I go shopping, I will ask myself, do I really need this item? A lot of times, especially if I'm in a bad mood and I know I will tend to overspend, a lot of times I will make a list of things that I need to buy. And if it's not on that list, I do not purchase it and I do not come home with it. If there's an item where I'm kind of like, yeah, but I really, really want this, right? Those are your impulse buys. What I typically do is I don't buy it. I come home, I think about it, and if I still feel like I really, really need it, I will then go out and buy it. And here's a bonus tip. Don't do it alone. I find that strategically, homes are better kept clutter-free if you engage and involve your family, your husband, your partner, your children in the process. Recently, my daughter is like my #1 fan on YouTube. So she was watching one of my decluttering videos. Next thing I know, I walk into her room and she had taken out all the bins of her toys, tossed them in the middle of her rug. And I walk in and I'm like, baby, what are you doing? And she goes, Mommy, I'm decluttering. The point is that if you get your entire family on board with kind of keeping your home and maintaining your home clutter free, you're going to be much more successful. And guys, honestly, mamas, it makes the process more fun when your children and your family members are involved. Avoid these mistakes and your decluttering process will go much more smoothly and you'll actually be able to keep your home clutter free. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to my channel, hit that like button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my weekly videos. Thank you so much for watching and always remember to be good to yourselves.